This is episode number 288, and we're still in search of awesome. Our guest tonight is level 4, Erin Keller. I think the last time we chatted with her, which was a little bit less than a year ago, she had just flipped to level 2. She actually got on the floor in the last quarter of 2020, and she had a first full year, 2021 in a level. So technically she hit 90 plus first year. I mean, that's pretty amazing. Urban Betty, Austin, Texas, salon owner. Thank you, Shelly Neff. And their summit coach has been with them for many moons, and that, of course, is Michaela Baskerville. So let me tell you why I wanted her to come see us tonight. And here we go. As I said, first year, 90 grand inside of 30 hours a week. So, I mean, there's just a lot that she's got cooking. Like I said, a little bit less than a year ago, fresh on 2. She's at 4 now. I think moving towards whether it's 5 or she's actually working with an associate. So technically, I think she could be a 4A. Just depends on how technical you want to get. On the back end of 20-something, look at the average ticket, 195. Her average day is 901, and her haircut price is 67. Rebooking at 80%. So you can see that very much so. She is in fact blowing it up. Last time she was on, she told her story, so I don't want to take a lot of airtime hearing the story. If you'd like to hear her story, you're certainly welcome. It's in our archives. But she graduates high school in 2010, hair school in 2019. There was, she was we're all looking to find a life, creative life. There was some, navigating going through life, but she finds her calling in 2019. Katie West, who is the best, as you know, she starts as Katie's associate in 2019, and as I said, gets on the floor at Urban Betty on the back end of 2020. 2021, just an amazing ride, and I think she's on a trajectory to enjoy probably another $25,000-$30,000 in 2022. So as you can see, yes, she is blowing it up big time. I would suggest that you follow her. Her handle on Instagram is Killer Hair by Erin, and just because of what how she's using all of the little platforms and all the little features inside of Instagram to brand what she's doing and specialize. So let's go get her now. She's in my green room. Hi, Erin.
Hi.
How are you?
Great. How are you?
Wonderful. You look fabulous. You just look
Thank you.
I love the whole the color and the pop and you worked today, didn't you?
I did all day.
Okay.
I worked 7 a.m. till about 3:30 today.
Have a good day?
I had a great day.
Had a killer day, huh?
Yeah.
Well, you heard me kind of talking a little bit about it's not even been a year and you've just been on a fast track on steroids. What's it been like? You went last time I saw you, you were hanging out at a $30,000 W2. You crushed 90. I think you ended up 91 or some darn thing. There's a lot of people watching this that's not been their experience. It's a very real experience for you. Can you just take a couple minutes and tell us what it's like to have that experience where you triple your income?
Honestly, I feel like I had to take a moment too. I feel like it happened so fast that I was shocked and I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know how to manage my money. It happened very quickly. I had to literally take a step back and be like, okay, focus. This is real life now. And this is honestly, for me, I feel like just the beginning. It's very, very humbling as well, just to know where I was literally just 1 year ago and where I am today. I remember how I felt a year ago, and I did not think that how I feel today would be even possible. It's nothing like I imagined.
Well, if I'm not getting like too personal, sounds like you were well into on your way there to, from here to there, which is a big, big, big jump before you realized, oh, whoa, I'm having this experience. And then
Yeah.
as you kind of realize what's happening, were you able to take any of your increase and I call it clean up life, handle life, catch up, shore up, like how's that part of your life look and feel different now than this time a year ago?
Yeah, I think when I first hit level 4, I was like, "Oh my gosh, treat yourself. You did it. You've come so far." And I went through this phase where I was like going out to eat all the time and I had to stop and be like, "Whoa, there's so much stuff that's been keeping me struggling over the past like decade basically that I can actually focus on and do something about." I mean, I got health insurance for the first time in years, which was huge. I'm signing up for our 401k like in the next couple of days. So it's just insane, being able to really focus on the things I need to focus on and be able to do that and also still live comfortably. Yeah, it was like I was on a roller coaster that was going up, 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 up. And then I had the drop and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. That's great. That just happened and it's
Yeah.
still happening.
And I remember when you were on a handful of months ago, you commuted, like you lived forever in Mississippi. And all of
Mhm.
a sudden, it's you and your significant other who said, threw a dart at a map and it landed in Austin. And you
Yeah.
go there and Urban Betty. And so, how much your family of origin, how clued in on your progress have they been, or is that just something that's not on the table that you're talking?
It's interesting because my family never really wanted me to do hair. They wanted me, in their eyes, they saw like all these great things that just might not have been like my idea of great things, which is fine. We've all come to terms with that now. But about a year ago, when I first started like doing so well and hit the floor and started running, my mom goes, "Wow, you should have done this years ago." And I was like, really? I tried to do it years ago. This is what I've been talking about. So I feel like there's just now starting to get it. And I didn't think that that would ever be the case.
Yeah, and there was like I don't know, a handful of years between the time you graduated from high school to graduating from hair school. So I'm assuming that there was some life in there, and was that what she was referring to? That oh, well, that this is working
Yeah.
out so good, but you don't know what you don't know until you know it.
Totally. I was a college dropout, just working all of these jobs, and I had not gone to cosmetology school and started all of that. And even when I did, she didn't realize how lucrative it could be, not only like with money, but like with yourself inside. And
Right.
I don't think she had any idea.
Yeah. Now, the other thing I'm curious about before we kind of get into what you're doing is you're in at Urban Betty in the salon that you're in. That's a pretty sizable village. I mean, there's
Yeah.
got how many people you think are in that crew? 20, 25 ish?
Oh, more. That's just
Really?
at one location.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I would guess together with even front and back of house over 50 easily.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So
easily.
there's people around you that have what you when you're I call it living with people at work. You're just that we don't just work with these people. We're
It's
30 hours.
family.
It's fam. So
Yeah.
you have some of your peers that can't help but notice, call it the trajectory, the incline, the speed to which, and you're on. I'm going to call it a faster than normal track. Actually, it's much faster. Do you ever get comments or energies or vibes from people that are kind of standing witness to not only what you're earning but what you're becoming?
Yeah, I just feel so grateful because we have and this is so thanks to Shelly, our owner, we have such an amazing and supportive salon culture. And I've been in situations before in this industry where not everybody is supportive of like your success. And where
Yeah.
I'm at, everybody is supportive of that. Like there's girls that were on the floor a year and I've passed them, and they're so supportive, and it's cool because they come to me and they ask me questions about how I'm doing it, and like little details like how can I better this and how can I better that. And I just think it's cool that we can all lean on each other and ask
Mm.
each other those kinds of tips and how to be successful. It's
Wow.
important to have that
Yeah,
family niche.
right. I call that the highest expression of courage is humility, and it takes
Yes.
a humble person to say, first of all, I see that you're growing, and you're growing at a faster pace than I am, and I have admiration and curiosity. I teach me, and they're very
Yeah.
teachable. And you also said, and there are a number of salon brands and the culture that is not the case. You pick up Mondo vibe.
Mm.
Is it envy? Is it jealousy? Is it whatever? And there's all kinds of negative energy, and at UB you have an energy that supports and fosters that. So
Yeah.
you're very fortunate.
Yeah. We're so fortunate, it's not lost on me for 1 second.
Well, I want to spend some time really talking about what you're doing to make the degree of difference that you're making in terms of just growing at a probably a speed that's got to be 3 to 4 times faster than we'll call it the norm. Like if somebody said, "What's your secret sauce?" What would you say?
You know, I'm a hustler. So when I get there and I'm looking at my planner in the morning and I'm seeing what's going on today, how many haircuts do I have? How many colors do I have? And I'm look and I see how many gaps I have in my schedule maybe that day. It doesn't always happen, but it definitely, it does happen. I'm looking, where can I make that ticket a little bit bigger? What do they need that they're not already scheduled for? One of the easiest things that we do in our salon is deep conditioning treatments, which we have Kerastase, of course, and the physio doses are absolutely amazing. They're the easiest thing ever because you can do it instantly in the shampoo bowl on any service, which is great. And it's only $35. So it's the easiest add-on. And I think I went through, when I first hit level 4, for like 2 whole months, almost every single person in my chair got a physio dose. And it was great. And it was a great way for especially like certain days where maybe I come in and I don't have as much going on as I normally do. How can I help make that a bigger day than it was originally planned? So it's all about planning and, being positive and motivated for the day.
Right. Well, you said a lot. There was like it's a large chunk of wisdom. I want to just unpack a couple of points because
Yeah.
the one of the, I think it was the very first thing you said is my first go to is my planner so that I can see what I have coming at me today. Where are
Mm-hmm.
the opportunities? The difference between what my day goal is and what I see on the front end of my day. And so you're now you've got, it's almost like our eyeballs are like looking for the opportunity. So it sounds like you're a Jedi at that. The
Yep.
second thing you said, and you mentioned it 2 or 3 times, was the Kerastase Physio $35 add-on. Is that, and then you said they're at the bowl and we have the conversation and it's done. What I'm curious about is there's to me, there's a difference between an add-on service where I can lay this add-on service on top of a pre-existing. It requires little or no more time than it would
Mm-hmm.
be. So it's not like I'm risking running behind or I got to look to see if I have the window. That treatment happens to be one of those services, right? It's a lay on.
Right. Right.
And the other thing that you said is it happens at the shampoo that you render it there, but on a typical day, give me a number on a typical day. I might serve 5, 6, 7 people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 5 to 7, probably.
Okay, and so how many of those people come in and they're on the front end? They're not scheduled for that, but as a result of this conversation, they get it. So are we talking 2 a day, 3 a day, 4 a day? Like,
I would say a quarter to like 25 to 50% of the people end up getting it. Every once in a while, especially in the summertime, I feel like when blondes are just blowing it up and ready to go,
Yeah.
I feel like I do so much more in the summertime. But on our average day, all you have to do is ask them. The worst they can say is no.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to
Well,
have that
I mean,
conversation.
as I'm listening to you, I'm going, okay, if she improves, if she does 3 of those add-ons in a typical day that wasn't on the book on the front end, that's an easy $100.
Yep.
And you're working how many days a week did you do? Was it 3 days, 4 days?
I'm 4 days.
All right, so that's 400 a week.
Hmm.
I mean, that's kind of sort of how I'm wired. That's 20 grand a year just in that service, right? And plus whatever your gratuities are. So that's that's one glass of nitroglycerin on a pre-existing bonfire. And that sounds like it's the essence of an ingenious idea is it's so simple.
So simple.
So what else? While I'm kind of tapping your brain a little bit, we know that Fusio is a big deal. Are there any
Yeah.
other big deals that are on your radar that you would go, oh yeah, this also helped me to get to the promised land?
Yeah, two things actually. One of them is I have turned so many bang trims into full haircuts just by noticing that they, by looking at their history, which is something I do every morning. We have their tickets printed out. It shows their history. When was the last time they came in? What product did they buy? So I can look on there and I can say, wow, she's had so many bang trims the past 4 months, but not an actual haircut. And if I have the time, we can add on that service if I have the time. And a lot of times it works out, which is super cool. And then another thing that has been a super big help has been just retail in general, making sure I know like what all of my regulars are using by keeping up with their history. And if I notice it's been 6 months since Sally's bought shampoo, then it might be time for Sally to get more shampoo. And I'll just ask her, how's she doing on product? Or if she just bought something last time, how are you loving it? And that just keeps that conversation going, establishes trust so that they keep believing in you and what you're offering them.
Yeah, I mean, as I'm listening to that part of our conversation, there's call it content, history about what kinds of services and products are your guests getting, and there's many hairdressers that, well, yeah, it's a one and done. I did that.
Mhm.
It's in the database. Next, and you're going, no, no, I'm looking at that because somewhere in the conversation, whether it's consultation, it's been, like you said, your last 3 or 4 visits, it's been bang trim only. Wow, well, how would you on ramp the conversation from the last 3 visits? It was bang trim to let's take you to a much better haircut. Like, what's that sound like in verbiage to you?
Yeah, so I'll start off just what's our plan today? What are we doing? And they'll start talking about the bangs. And I say, well, how are we feeling about like your ends all over? And they're like, well, I mean, I feel like they could use a little love. I don't know. Like frequently, once you ask that little question, just to put that idea in their head, they'll just ask if you have time. Which is the cool thing. And if you have that time available, just starting off that conversation, I mean, if it doesn't gear that way, it doesn't gear that way, but you'll never know if you don't try.
Right,
Then
right.
another easy one to do is if someone comes in for a toner refresh
Yeah.
and they're blondes, you can pop in a couple foils around their hairline and you can very easily upgrade that with, yeah, they're getting all fresh around the ends, but maybe they're going to get fresh around the face too. So
Yeah.
that's another easy one.
Yeah. So I'm getting that you are very add-on, whether you want to call it focused, driven. It's kind of on your eyeballs. You're looking all the time. You mentioned, a couple of foils here. You're looking at history and the records that you keep. Um, I gotta believe that whatever your day looks like on the front end, on the back end of that same day, I get a sense that there could be a $200, $300 increase there that on day's end that wasn't. And you start doing the math on that and you go, okay, if somebody isn't in that mode, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to get to the place that you're at.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's helped me tremendously.
I follow you on Instagram, and I continue to see how your page continues to evolve. I'm curious as to the number of, let's say, first time new guests you do, whether they're referrals or whatever. How many of them got to you via something that they saw on your page that got their attention?
It happens a lot. I have people reach out to me on Instagram all the time, honestly. Um, I mean, at least maybe like 3 to 5 a week, which is really a lot, honestly. And
Yes.
I'd say probably 90% of them end up booking after we have a virtual consultation. So it's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, and you're one of those people that the first touch point is somebody sees your work. Second touch point is typically they'll DM you and make
Yep.
some sort of comment about a piece of your work that they saw. Touch point, you might make a comment before you know it. You have what they're looking for of your work and a selfie of them, and that a lot of that virtual happens inside of direct message. There's
Yep.
not, phone calls or FaceTiming, and it makes it
Yeah.
really, really safe for
Yeah.
people, I think.
And it makes it easy for them because they don't have to physically come in for it either. They can just do it at their own time, in their own home.
And so the other point I was going to ask you about is that in the last few days, as I look at the feeds and I see postings where somebody will post, or even in their stories, um, I've got two openings for blah blah blah, like tomorrow. And
Yeah.
anytime I see that, I'll say, I'll DM and say, let me know how long it took to those for those openings to fill from the time you posted to their filled, and what was the dollar amount on the fill. And I've been doing this now for since 2015,
Hmm.
so it's not like it's a new question, but what I'm getting now is, the first one filled in 5 minutes and the other one filled inside of 45 minutes. And by the time I added the two up, it was like $300. And that's what's blowing my mind. Are you having any kind of experiences like that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially if it's color. I always post because I stay booked out for weeks. So if someone sees that, they'll frequently be super excited about that. It's how I get a lot of new clients. It's if I have regulars, they'll move up quicker if they want to. It's a great way to do that.
Yeah, I think
I do it all the time.
for it to work, 2 points that I want to make sure that, and to make sure that I'm on your page. Because the majority of your clients are on your Instagram page, when you put something like that in your stories, so many more of them are going to see it.
Yep.
So gone are the days, well, it took 2 hours, 3 hours, and I filled one but not the other. It's now Instagram has become a new money machine, that new money that makes up for old money that disappeared because somebody canceled on you.
Hmm.
I love it. Well, let me ask you one last question. I'm going to let you get back to your personal life, so I don't take up too much of your time. But the people that are watching tonight and people that will be watching, they have had their first year, and their first year isn't like your first year. They're listening to the conversation tonight, and there's a gap between, let's say, what they're doing on Instagram to what you're doing on Instagram, what they're doing in add-ons to what you're doing in add-ons, and they're kind of, you've got them thinking, but there's some self-doubt in them, and it's like, is there anything from your experience that you might want to pass on to them that would inspire them to just do what you did? You leaned in and leveled up.
Yeah, I think and I feel like people say this all the time, but it really is like a fake it till you make it situation because confidence is one of the hardest things to get past in all of this. Is just having the confidence to have those conversations and make those certain posts and everything. Just having the confidence to just do it. That's one of the biggest hurdles in this industry, I feel like. And once you do that and you're like, I've got this, you tell yourself you've got this, eventually you've got this, you know? So it is a fake it till you make it. And the next thing you know, it's all natural and it
Right.
just,
So
well,
what
everything rolls.
without putting words in your mouth, because you've consistently, persistently, perseveringly continued to take these same actions on a regular basis, the skill that you have in the action today is exponentially greater than the skill you had on the same action 6 months ago, never mind a year
Yeah.
ago. And as that commitment kind of shows itself in a skill, all of a sudden you're having, like you said, I'm having
Mhm.
experiences that are amazing me. I'm amazing myself as to
Yeah.
the kind of result that I'm getting. But until you do it, you just can't. You can tell people all day long, but they just do it long enough, and then all of a sudden, you have what I call the big bang, right?
Yep.
Well, listen, promise me. I made you to ask you to make this promise to me last
Yeah.
year, and you thought I was being kind, and I called you and I said, please come back. I'd love to have you back for another one, probably halfway, three quarters, because I think that whatever 2021 was, I think you're going to crush it. Are you going to keep the same work schedule in 22 as you had in 21?
I am. I love my work schedule.
Oh my God. So I see you at 150 rather than 120, 125, just because of the
It's
trajectory.
crossed.
Yeah, I mean, the universe has got to conspire to help us a
Yeah.
little bit, but assuming that you don't have any unexpected mishaps, I think this is looking like it's going to be a great year for you.
I agree.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on with me tonight,
Thank you.
Erin, and say hi to Katie West for me, and
I sure will.
I'll stay in touch with you, and stay well, my friend.
You too.
We're going to give it up for you one more time. Erin Keller. I love her. I think she's, first of all, um, she's simply genius in what her doing. I think the number one quality in an ingenious idea, gang, is simplicity. She keeps it very simple. And because she's keeping it simple, it's working for her. So I can't encourage you enough to keep close to her. And I think it always comes back to the basics. I look at my day. I live by my planner. I'm looking for the opportunities. I'm having the conversations. I know what my favorite go-tos are. And my clients, as I get skillful, accommodate that. And the day difference between when I start my day and I end my day is, $300, $400, $500. I mean, my goodness, you do the math on that, and all of a sudden, it's not a mystery on how somebody can get to, a very high five-figure W-2 inside of 365 days. So kudos to Erin. For those of you that are watching, you're watching this on Michael Cole Millionaire Stylist Facebook, and I also have the same handles for my Instagram page. This recording will live on both those pages, except on my Instagram page. I will cook it down to a micro learning and put it on IGTV, and you can see that all of the micro learnings that we do are on that page. And like if you go through them, the time elements are 3 to 4 minutes. So we cook them down, and that in and of itself has become kind of like its own learning channel. So I would invite you to take advantage of that. Take advantage of that as well. When you get to that page, if you look at my link tree on my bio, you'll see it says all of the behind the chair millionaire calcs. We have calculators now where whether you want to set an income goal, a savings goal, a debt reduction goal, and the artificial intelligence in the actual calculator will break it all the way down to what your average day it needs to be, gives you an average day goal in service and in retail, gives you an average ticket goal. And as you start planning on your book around that, I mean, that's basically how people are crushing it. And you can access the calcs. They're very gamified. They're very, very simple. And they're at they're complements of L'Oreal Professional. So I would take advantage of them if I was you. Check out summit365.com. We continue to put new courses on there every day. We have a course called Self-Awareness, Top 20 Self-Awareness. Love to have you take a peek at that. And that's very high production value video. And it's really where you go if you want to plug into some of our online courses. Schedule a virtual consultation to see if we can coach you via Zoom or via team meeting. I think now 60 to 75% of the coaching that Summit Salon Business Center is doing is happening online. So we're making it as convenient as ever to make that happen. Last but not least, we always, Summit Salon Business Center is an exclusive business partner of L'Oreal Professional Products. Brands are Biolage, Pulp Ride, Purology, Kerastase, L'Oreal Professional, Redken Shoe Matrix, and Mazzani. Support those brands. You use them, get them on their back bar. I loved Erin's story about how they're using Kerastase physio treatments and $35 slam dunks. So to the degree that you're using this and you have your clients supporting this, L'Oreal's in a position to continue to sponsor Summit Salon Business Center in this way, where we can bring you content like this. It's one of those for the good of all and the harm of none. So listen, been a great night. Going to let you get on with your dinner. And we will see you back here next Monday afternoon for more of the same. So between now and then, have a good weekend and talk soon.